Hello everyone, my name is Brad Crozier. I'm the Senior Account Manager for Creaform 3D. Today what we're going to be talking about is what separates the PL3 technology from some of the other Creaform scanners that we have in front of us. So starting off, we actually have a very simple part here with some positioning targets on it. So what we're going to do is just do a very quick reminder to show everybody how the PL3 performs on a part like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to point at the part and you'll see it's point and shoot and you start capturing the surface. Now, the PL3 technology is really fast, quite accurate, and it does capture data quite well. However, there are some drawbacks to the technology that some of the other Creaform technologies and systems help to answer. So we'll go ahead and pause that there. So again, very quick sample of what the PL3 can do. All right, so the first system we're going to be talking about here today is called the GoScan Spark. So the reason we're going to start by talking about the GoScan Spark is because this system here is the most similar to the PL3. So it will provide the best comparison from one unit to another. So essentially the way that the unit works is very similar to the PL. So it uses what we call structured light, which projects a pattern over the surface based on how that pattern changes. The cameras on the front of the scanner record that change and create that 3D data. So why would you choose the GoScan over something like the PL? There's a couple different reasons. The first one being the accuracy. So you actually get twice the level of accuracy on the GoScan than you do with the PL3. So where you're going to see a major advantage with that is as soon as you start scanning larger parts or larger pieces. So let's say you're doing something the size of a vehicle, potentially even larger, you're actually going to see a higher increase or a higher maintained accuracy on your skin with the GoScan Spark as opposed to the PL. Other things as well too, so the technology does capture higher resolution. So for those of you who are not familiar with what the difference between low and high resolution is, it just means when you start getting to sharper details and things of that nature, edges, it just allows the system to capture those different areas with higher fidelity, and it gives you more definition. Otherwise, the scanner itself is a little bit faster, but for all intents and purposes, once you get above 1 million points, all 3D scanners are pretty quick. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to fire up the software, do a very similar scan to what we just did with the PL. So at least you can kind of get an idea and a contrast as to how one system works versus the other. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use this fancy wrist strap here. We're going to point the scanner at the surface of the part. We're going to go ahead and activate the scanner, and it's just point and shoot, and you'll see it starts to capture the data in real time. Very similar to the PL. Now, like I said, you're getting twice the accuracy as well as you're getting higher fidelity on those different surface areas. Okay? But the process is very similar. Okay? Once we switch from something like the light-based GoScan to one of our HandyScan systems, that's where the biggest change is going to be seen. So let's talk about those guys next. Perfect. So we'll start first by talking about the HandyScan series, the smaller HandyScan series anyway. Once we get into the HandyScan Max, we'll give you some more information there. But there's actually two different types of this HandyScan here. We have the HandyScan Silver and the HandyScan Black series. Now, today we're going to touch on the Black series because that's the one that we have here. But basically the way this system works is it's a metrology blue laser scanning system. The advantage of a laser scanning system, especially once it's metrology grade, means that it switches from traditional structured light scanning and now you start using laser line scanning. Some major benefits that you get when you switch to that laser-based scanning is, first of all, your surface finish doesn't matter anymore. So whether you have a part that's shiny, black, which traditionally provides structured or light-based scanners with problems, you're able to basically scan any surface finish with the blue laser technology. So some other advantages, scanning outdoors. So you can actually use this scanner and scan in direct sunlight. So whereas when you use the other light-based systems, they have a difficult time scanning outdoors, this system has no problem. Once you start getting into the higher versions, especially in the Black series, you also start to add some pretty significant certifications on the units. So things like ISO 17025, ISO 10360. So these are all different types of metrology certifications that help to ensure that the data that's being collected is matching the data that's being called out on the spec sheet. Okay? In terms of scan speed, very similar to the other two systems, however, it's a little bit faster. Now, this HandyScan Black Series, the part type that it's made for, or I guess you could say the part size that it's made for, the recommendation is about 5 or 6 feet or smaller. That's where this system is going to fit in the best, or it's going to basically allow for the quickest setup time. Once you go above that size, that's when we get into the HandyScan Max, which we'll be talking about next here. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and we'll turn on the scanner and we'll start scanning. So what we'll do is you'll see as we go ahead and activate the scanner and we start scanning, you see how quickly we're able to capture the surface. Now, when you start looking at accuracy and detail and how this compares to even something like the GoScan, you actually do get a significant increase with a laser-based system as well. So not only are you getting an increase on your resolution, but you're also getting a significant increase on your accuracy. Okay, so as you can see here, passing over the surface, very similar to spray painting like what we did with the other scanning systems. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pause that. And what we'll do is let's jump on to the HandyScan Max now. Last but certainly not least is the HandyScan Max. Now, this system here looks very similar to its smaller baby brother, the HandyScan Black, but the way it works is very similar. So again, it's a laser-based system, high accuracy, high resolution. However, what we've done here is, as you can see, we've made the system longer and we've spread the cameras out further. The reason we did that is so that scanning larger parts is a lot easier, because the way the system works is it uses cameras top and bottom to pick up on these positioning targets. Now, by having the cameras spread out further, it means that we can stand further back from the part when we're scanning, in turn meaning that you actually you use significantly less targets than you would with the smaller HandyScan Black Series. So when you're scanning parts that are, again, 5 or 6 feet or larger, the advantage of having the targets spread out between 12 to 14 inches apart is going to be a significant time savings compared to something like the HandyScan Black Series, where your target should be anywhere between 4 to 6 inches apart. So again, blue laser technology, high accuracy, ISO 17025 certified. So it is a metrology grade scanner. So it is used for those different types of metrology projects. It can still be used for reverse engineering, don't get me wrong, but it's capable to do both. So as you'll see here, we'll go ahead and we'll activate the scanner, point and shoot. And again, this scanner I can stand a lot further back from the surface of the part that I'm scanning, and it's going to collect a lot more surrounding data because you do see a larger field of view. So as you see, we're going to go ahead and map the targets first. Once the targets are mapped, it only takes a couple of seconds. Then we actually go ahead and jump into the scan mode. And again, as you can see, we're able to map a lot of the area. Now, in terms of speed, this is actually the fastest scanner that we do have from a handheld standpoint. And when you compare something like this to the Peel, it really is a night and day difference. But anyway, that's just a very quick rundown of the different Creaform scanners and how they compare back to the Peel system. If you have any questions, reach out to your local team, your local account manager, or your local distributor. They'll be able to give you more information on potential trade-in promotions that we have for Peel systems, getting into Creaform systems, and they'll be able to provide you with further demonstrations. So if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to reach out, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.